Hey, what's up people, it's your guy here, DJ Cliff. Welcome again to this channel. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you've told a friend about this channel and don't forget to like this video. Make sure you also watch this video up to the end. Now today I just want to show you how you can set your custom mappings, maybe using this letter Q, letter S, letter E, letter C and letter A, on how you can also perform scratches using your touchpad. And this is a very good trick and no one has ever shown this skill on YouTube. So actually I'm going to start with the color forms, because someone was asking me on how you can set your waveform display. Here is the trick. You just come at this section here on the Pro, just tap it, and then you come to the color scheme. You can also come to the waveform display. If you're having problem with your waveform, you can put it in the full spectrum. This is how it looks like, the full spectrum. You can also come here and put maybe multicolor. So if you want it to be this way, you can also put on that multicolor. Let me just leave it that way because it's nice looking at it. And then I'm going to put on the Pro, the one which you see right here. And then the color scheme, I'm just going to put default, because the default is the best way to do that. I'm going to use the needle plus text on my jog wheel. Like you can see, here is the text and this is the needle, just like how Serato looks like. This is why I like Virtual DJ, because it gives you lots of customization. And then we have here the beat counters. We have this the phrase bars, we have the phrase circles. Like you can see here, this it tells you how this 16 bits, and also you can try putting it at maybe the phrase bars. The way this is the default settings. And the 4-decks, maybe if you want it to be the 4-decks, just come here. This is how it looks like. But for me, I prefer using 2-decks. It is simple and it's just easy to interact with. Now let's go to the point of today. We are going to this option here in the settings, and then we are going to have these 3 choices here. We have the ignore, we have the factory default optional, and we have the factory default. Now we are going to use this factory default because it will give us some allowance to just change some little change some little things, not a lot. Like you can see on this button here, it's very important to see this button in the left arrow here. If your keyboard has this option, I'm sure all of you have this. So we have the nudge plus 10 ms, and you have this one, a nudge minus 10 ms. And then when we tap this one, it does not have any feature, this up and down. And the most important thing is this Q here, which I want to show you how to set that. So let's just start. I'm going to set this Q. Sorry, I'm going to delete that one. So this Q button is going to perform crossfader at I think spacebar. Then you tap shift. I'm sorry, right? This one should be at 0, then %. Remember, it should be in percentage form. So again, you're going to touch this S. This, I'm going to give this function or this action, this is crossfader at 50%. Remember, in percentage form. Don't forget that one. And then C, this one I'm going to give it this action, crossfader at what? Sorry, I've written my spelling badly. Crossfader at this one C. So it should be plus 10%. Yep, I think this is plus 10%. So I'm going to give it plus 10%. This C. Sorry, I've forgotten a plus here. Let me just put that plus. They're very important to do that. 10%. Then this A, I'm going to give it crossfader at minus 10%. Remember, this spaces is also very essential. If you don't space it, it will not recognize that action. So crossfader minus 10%. This is this A. And then button S, crossfader 50%. Just don't put any plus or minus there. Just leave it that way. And then C plus 10%. Q, crossfader at 0%. Then E, I forgot to put this E. This E, I want it to be crossfader at 100%. This is 100%. So let's save this and see how this crossfader changes. So we're going to tap Q. We see crossfader it's at 0%. S, crossfader is coming here at 50%. Then C, it is plus 10%. You can see it goes slowly towards the right. When I tap A, this is crossfader at 10%. This A minus 10%, I mean. So if you touch it, you see this is how it goes like. This is S, this Q, this E, this S. Now let's perform it in our track. I hope you're good in that. Again, if you want to perform, before we go into that, we see we have G, H, and J. Let's do our custom setting here. So this key, J, we are going to give this scratch. So scratch, then space. Then we are going to write minus 120 ms. So 120 ms, this G. And then J, H, we are going to give it Q, then stop. So we're going to write Q, then lowercase, then stop. You've seen how I write my lowercase, just shift, then you go press this negative button here, and you're well. That's Q stop. Then J, I'm going to write scratch, at then space, then you write, that one was minus 120 ms, this one is going to be plus 120 ms, so shift plus 120 ms. So last key is F. So F, I'm just going to Q it. I'm not going to Q and stop it. So that's Q, just leave it, and we are good to go. Now just let's save this and see how it's going to look like. This is F. You see when I tap it, it just on the go. Let me record this for the purpose of high quality. I'm going to give this a title scratch. Then I'm going to start this way. So let's do this for the essence of you. So when I tap F, you see on the go, it just goes straight to the beat. When I tap H, also does the same thing, but now this one comes in when now you've already started mixing your song. So let's start by scratching G, G and J. So you see, make sure you cue that F, then start by forward scratch this, then this way. You just start by touching forward scratch, which is J, then back scratch, which is G, and then you can try playing by tapping letter H, which we said it's Q, then stop. So again, let's try again and see how it's going to look like. Again, you can also play this space bar. You see when I'm tapping F, it's going to be at least, it's going to start from the Q. Again, let's try. You see, when I tap the letter H, it's going to stop. Now, let's go and try using this touchpad and scratch like I showed you on my previous videos. So this is my left hand. I'm going to touch letter Q, letter S, because Q, this is 0%, this is 50%. Now let's try and see how it's going to look like. At most, you can see it's very hard to scratch with your touchpad. So we are going to do a very good setting. So let me just minimize this. Then I'm going to touch device, manager, then open. Then I'm going to do a little toggle here on my keyboard. So I'm just going to my mice and pointing devices. So let's scroll and see this. This is what I was talking about. This, I'm going to uninstall this device. And after installing it, it's going to be very hard to use this touchpad again. So I'm going to restart this computer again and show you what I was trying to say. And we're going to interact with that and see how it's going to perform with Q, S, C, and E. So let's let it do its thing and see how it's going to look like. So guys, let's try and see if it has done it well. We can see the reaction of now the touchpad is very high because the synaptic, I've just uninstalled the synaptics. It's not recommended, but I just try to use this touchpad because I've uninstalled the synaptics. So anyway, let's go and try and see if it's going to be that effective and it's going to scratch like how these pro DJs do that. So let's try and see. So I'm going to start with the one which is on this side. So let's try and see. You can see I try to touch Q so that it does not, when I do my back scratches, it does not sound. You can see when I touch Q, I don't want it to sound, but when I touch S, I want a specific place where it can scratch. So let's try and see if it's going to be the same. Just try to look at this and try to look at the screen so that you can see how my hand does the thing. Anyway, I hope you've learned something about how to set your Q, your S, your E, your C, and how you can set this waveform display in your virtual DJ. I hope you like this video. Please make sure to give a thumbs up. Make sure you watch my next video. It is your guy here, DJ Cliff. Up to the next time. Bye bye guys.